Okay, so I'm back. What I've done is I've created my drop-down lists for all of my answers, constructed from the back end by selecting all of the possibles to add them to the list. And you'll notice I've added a little column here. Now I'm going to add this to your template, but in order to add it, what you would do, let me delete that one, is you would say this one must be equal to, and you just go and you click on the highlighted one. Must be equal to C2. And that one there must be equal to, you type in equals, and it's equal to B3. And you just make sure that all of these say, oh, spelling mistake there, that should be true. All of these go equals to, and then the cell where the right answer is. This is going to make things so much easier when you come and do your formula. So do that. I've already created that. You can pause your video. And then we go back into the quiz. And here in the column for right or wrong, what I want to happen is if the user clicks on the answer here, and if it's the right answer, it must tell them right. Otherwise, if it's the wrong answer, it must tell them wrong. Well, you probably heard the word I used there, if. If this is the same as the right answer, it must say right. Otherwise, if it's not, it must say wrong. So the function I'm going to use, if I go up to my AutoSum here, can't be one of these that are listed here. It must be one of the more functions. And I'm looking for something that's like if. So you can see here I've got a function if there, but if you don't see if, you just type in if, you click go, and then you see it on the list, and you click OK. And it opens up this little box. And there are three things you have to fill in, so it's quite easy. A logical test, that's the hard one. The value if true, so let me do that, the easy bit first. Well, if it's true, if the answer is the same as the right answer, then it must say right. So I just type in right there. You can say OK or correct or something like that. And if false, if it's not the right answer, it must say wrong. So you just type that in there. Now back to the logical test. What do we do there? Well, if you think about it, that cell here where the user has selected the answer, and I just click on that, B2, must be the same as, well, in mathematics, how do we say the same as? We use an if. An equal sign. So I type in equals. So B2, that cell there, must equals the right answer. Well, where's the right answer? It's back here in the back end, and I can either click here, but then I have to do it for each of these. I'm just going to click on my column for the right answer there. So it's whatever's in this cell, back end F2. And you'll notice it's saying it's true because the answer the user typed is the same as that. So I click OK, and it tells me right. Now I can go and do it again. So let me do it again just once more, and then I'll show you how to just copy it down. So if, now I could go up here to AutoSum, choose more functions than if, or I could go into my function editor by clicking FX here and just selecting the if. So if that cell there, B3, equals, I go into my back end, if it equals that cell there, F3, then it must say right, otherwise it must say wrong. And just go into there, and it's saying right because I selected all the right answers here. So if I were to go there, for example, and choose another answer, I'll just test it quickly, testing my data always. It's going to be wrong, and the right answer will say right. Well, I've now got a formula. So if I want to copy that down to all of the cells, I can just go into the corner cell there until my cursor changes from that thick plus sign into a thin plus sign. Then I left click on my mouse and I just drag my formula down. And you'll notice it's saying, well, because I chose true, not true. So because I put all the right answers here, it's saying right, 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 right. If I now go and select and just test it and choose some wrong answers, then it's showing me wrong as well. So I know it works. I'll give you a moment to catch up on all of that, and I'll pause the video. You do the same, and then we'll come back and we'll put in a score. Okay, once you put your formula into that column, you can go in and give a score. So exactly the same thing occurs. I click my mouse where I want the formula to be, and basically it's saying if this is right, then it's going to give a score. Otherwise, if it's wrong, it's not going to give a score. So it's quite simple to do. I go into my AutoSum, go into More Functions, and I choose my if, just by double-clicking on it. So the logical test is, if that cell there is equal to, and then I type in the words right, okay, and I put it inside inverted commas, the double one, then the value if true, how many points for a right answer? Let's say I give 10 points for a right answer, and for a wrong answer, 0 points. So you'll notice it's saying true because that does say right. I click OK, and then again I go down to the bottom right hand corner, I just click with my mouse, drag all the way down. Wherever it says right, it's given 10 points. Wherever it says wrong, it hasn't given. So let me see if I can get this right. There we go. Now I've got my 10 points. To finish up, all we need now is a scoreboard. So I'm going to click inside the scoreboard. I think blue, a nice red color, and then the text can be contrasting white color. I'm going to make it bold and nice and big. Well, this is just an AutoSum, isn't it? It's got to add up these scores. So I click where I want my formula to show, and I just go and click on the AutoSum. And it's now saying D2 to E2. My friend, that's not what I want to add up. You just select what you want to add up with your mouse, and you go enter. And it's giving a score of 90. Let me just change that to true. There, it's giving me full marks. Well, that's the project in a nutshell, but I can hide some things. For example, I don't need to see the score column. It's always going to give 10, and we're going to see it on the scoreboard anyway. So if I go to the top where you see the D, and I go right click, I can go hide. And I've now got a question. You can select possible answers. It tells you if you're right or wrong and automatically adjusts the scoreboard. I think that's all I need for that. The back end. Well, you don't want to see the list of right answers. You want the back end to be hidden. So the way to do that is you go to the sheet at the bottom, you just right click and you go hide. And now the user sees a welcome screen and the quiz sheet. And obviously in your instructions you tell them to go and click on quiz to start the quiz. And when they start the quiz, it starts running. Or what I could do is I could insert a little text box, or I could insert a little shape. So I make a little button and it says click here to start the quiz. Okay, I think a nice red button would work better. And then if I go insert, I want to insert a link to the sheet to get it going. Now where do I insert the link? Oh, I've got to click on the outside here. So I've got to go outside of my little button. I'm just going to go and center it nicely. And I'm going to click on the outside there. And I'm going to go insert. And I'm looking for a hyperlink. I can't see any hyperlink. So is it somewhere else? Well, is it part of data maybe? Is it part of the home tab to create it into a link? Review. View. No. Where is it? I know it's there. Must be insert. add-ins, filters. Ah, there we go, link. Now, you notice I was genuinely puzzled there. I couldn't see it. The version I'm using now is slightly different from versions I've used before, but we're making a link in your document to quick access to web pages, files, etc. So I'm going to click on there, and it goes insert a link. So I clicked on link, insert a link, and then I'm looking for place in this document. So I click on place in this document, and I click on the quiz tab. Because when you click here, it must go to quiz. And I click OK. Go out of here, and just to test it, you notice it makes a little finger to click. When I click, it takes me to my questions. Go back to the welcome page so that it launches on there. Save your document, close it so it updates on the cloud version. And remember, in the cloud, you might not see all of these functions, but I will download your Excel to mark it. And click Turn In. Hope you enjoyed this project. I think it creates quite an entertaining little quiz.